Yeah, we're good. Hey guys, it's Tony with Backwoods Biker Magazine and Wood Tramp Outdoors. I've got another battle box for you here. It's mission number 92 for October 2022. Hang tight, be right back. But as a whole, BattlBox is still very impressive. Not only with the pricing, but the quality of gear that they're throwing out there now is so much different than what you got even 8, 9 months ago. So, with that being said, let's get back in here, and you're going to be able to see this why we feel this way. Just having stuff in a box. We've seen a lot of those. It's not just about the stuff; it's about whether or not we can use it. Is it quality, or is it going to just fall apart the first time you use it? So, keep that in mind. The basic box is $34.99, and for your $34.99 you are going to get 3 different items in this box, and the first item is something that I have preached about for a long time when I'm being asked, when you're going out, especially when you are on a hunt and you happen to are lucky enough to be able to bag yourself a deer, say. A lot of times when you're bow hunting, they don't go down right away. Even with a rifle, they don't always go down right away. And you have to do some type of tracking. And, the basic way is to track a deer is with 2 people. Sometimes you can't, but if you got 2 people, you do the piggyback thing. You find where the first blood spill is at, you mark that, and a guy stands there, and the next guy goes out and he finds the next blood marking and calls the other guy up. So you're daisy chaining. But this is where these come in. You just don't want to, identify this is where it's at, but you got to leave something there. Traditionally, for me, what I have done when I am going deer hunting, I take small strips of old t-shirts or whatever, and I might spray paint them orange or yellow, just little tiny strips, and I'll tie them up. They've worked okay. But the difference between what you're getting here with the basic box, this comes from BattlBox itself. It's called Trail Markers. There's 10 of them in here. And these are a reusable, clip-on type of marker that is also reflective. So, a lot of times if you are doing a late in the afternoon hunt and you do happen to shoot a deer, and it takes off on you and you are trying to track that thing and it starts to get dark, these will help you out by putting them up in a tree or anywhere that you might be able to shine a flashlight on. Same thing goes if you're just out on a day hike or whatever. You're going to get off the beaten path that you're not really familiar with, and you're not comfortable with just tracking off. These will help you. They'll leave a breadcrumb for you so you can just follow these, and if it's in the middle of the night, these will reflect up very, very highly. One of the things that Curran 1776 mentioned is that if you happen to be in a group, you can put one of these on the backpack of the person in front of you, and you can daisy chain off and not lose sight of everybody. So this is a pretty good ad here, especially during deer hunting that we're in. We just started deer hunting season here in Illinois. They give this a value of $7.99. We're going to just call it $8. Just for the kicks and giggles of it, for the math later on. All right, the second thing in here, I said there was 3 things. There's actually 4 things in this box. And this is a product, it's called PFC Aerosol Earth Scent. And this is something that I've seen, I won't say for quite a while, but at least a couple years. And it was a breakthrough product in that, whenever you're going out on a hunt, of course, before you go out, you should always, if you have a firearm, you should clean your firearm and make sure that it is firing right. It's not going to misfire. You want to make sure everything is lubed and has plenty of it on there, so you're not going to have a weapon fail on you. Same thing goes with a bow, just a regular long bow. If it's a breakdown long bow, like a survival bow, or a crossbow. You've got all kinds of components that need to have some type of lubrication. All right, so if you're just out target shooting, and you're trying to dial in your distances, you can use anything, WD-40 or some really light oil. But the problem with those is that they leave a scent. And when you're going out to go hunting, if you have not cleaned that completely off, that hunt can alert. It can be an alerting smell to all wildlife because it's so different. It's a chemical man-made smell that it's telltale. It'll ruin your hunt if you're not careful. That's where the PFC aerosol comes in, because it is odorless. They call it a cover scent, but it says it lubricates in extreme cold, high performance protection, non-toxic and solvent-free, and it's a lanolin-based formula. Now it is flammable, so you can't just throw this in the fire. Whenever you're done with it, it'll blow up on you. But you talk about some really game-changing product here. You can take care of your weapon, your sidearm, your long rifle, shotguns, all the bows, whatever. You can even spray this on knives, whatever you want to keep lubricated. But there is no smell to this at all, man. I mean, it is just nothing. I really dig it. So we'll be going out deer hunting here pretty soon, and I do have to lube my crossbow because I haven't done any maintenance on it in the last 2 or 3 months because we haven't touched it. But yeah, this is a great ad here. They give this a value of $14.99. We'll call it $15. And then the next thing up is from Gear Aid. We've seen a lot of stuff from Gear Aid. They got some great little products there. This is called the Camo Form Reusable Fabric Wrap. Now, a lot of guys, we have some of this. I don't know why we didn't bring one down here that was already open, but this is much like the Ace bandages that people can buy now, that you see in the medical industry. They aren't really a regular bandage, but man, these things, the fabric it's made out of, it's not Velcro, but it acts like Velcro, and it'll hold no matter what you wrap it around. And I know Curran 1776, Brandon was showing how you can wrap a rifle, and he made mention of something that a lot of guys have done before. Tried to use camo duct tape and put it on their rifle, and the next thing you know, man, they're ruining the finish, the bluing on it. Especially if they try to get the glue off and they decide, I'm going to use a little acetone. Wow, that's a big disappointment. But this here, and there is plenty of it here. I think this is a 10-foot section. Is that what that says? Or does it even say there? Does not say how much there is here, but I'm thinking this is a 10-foot roll. Maybe it says it on the packaging that I just towed up. Yep, 10 feet. That's exactly what it is. Let me just put this together here. No, it says 14 feet. That's what it says. Cool beans, 2 inch by 14 feet. That's plenty to wrap a long gun, or the risers and the limbs on a bow. I really like the pattern on it. It's good. You can even use this as a makeshift bandage if you need to. If you happen to get a nice puncture wound, you put down your main gauze or whatever that you're going to use to keep the wound protected, and then you can wrap it in this, and it will hold tight. I keep something like this. I don't know the name of the product, but it's the same thing that the medical industry has came up with. I love it. You don't have to use those little metal clips to keep it on. It stays on by itself. But this is the first product like this that I've ever seen that can be reusable. What I mean by that, after you take it off of your arm or take it off of your long gun or your bow, you can wash it, and it's reusable. I think that's really cool about this. So they give this a value of $15.95. Now, we thought that was a little pricey on this because you can find this type of product for quite a bit cheaper. But, from Gear Aid, and considering the fact that it's camo, that may be what drove the price up on this. But we give this a thumbs up because of the way it performs, not because of the price. We're just going to call it $16. And then we have another item. I keep on messing up my tablecloth here. Got another item, and we were excited about this because in the basic box, you're going to get a blade. Okay, and you know, some of the blades that we have seen in the basic boxes have been basic knives. But this one, it comes from Fox Americas. We've seen a lot of these knives from this company through BattlBox, and they're usually pretty decent knives. But we was all really impressed with this one right here. They call this the FE-043. It's a 7.75-inch flipper and features a ball bearing system for easy one-handed opening. And it really is quite easy to be able to open this up. The ball bearing helps it out quite a bit. You'll have to get used to keeping your other fingers out of the way when you open it, not because you get cut, but it impedes that opening. But you see how easy that opened up? Got a really nice finish on it, and it has a micarta scale on one side. It's perfect the way this is, and we really thought that it was, you know, probably one of the best basic box knives that we've seen. But what really got us is the price was $32.99, because we have seen knives of this quality and caliber that go for almost twice that much money. You know, and again, when I say quality and caliber, that's what you have to take into consideration, because you can drive into any truck stop, find a knife that looks like this, and pay $5 for it, and what you get is $5 worth of, I wish I hadn't spent that money. So they give this a value of $32.99. We're going to call it $33, and when you add all that up together for your $34.99 investment, you got $72 worth of gear. Again, you know, that's what BattlBox do. Okay. So we're going to move on to the advanced box, and this comes from Climate. And you know how I feel about hammocks. This is the Climate Traverse hammock, and they've got single in parentheses because a lot of people are wanting to buy the double hammocks. And I'll tell you what this is going to be good for. This will be good for those of you that are day hikers, or you're just going to spend maybe one night out in the woods by yourself. There's a lot of advantages to this. It's got a small footprint, and on the inside of here you actually have some very, very good straps with the daisy chains on them, and the carabiners are in here. Everything is right inside of here, so it's small, it's compact, but that's the pack size. Now when you get this thing out, it is, let me tell you how big it is. 110 inches, which is almost 10 feet. 120 inches is 10 feet. This is 110 by 55, which means it's pretty wide, right? 60 inches is 5 feet, so it's pretty wide. But what it doesn't have is a double layer. So if you're planning on taking this out into the woods in the summertime or spring or early fall when the mosquitoes are still very, very aggressive, they can get you through this if you don't have something underneath you to keep that from happening. You know, they can feel the heat up through the bottom, and they'll land on you, and they will have dinner on you through your hammock. But as I said, I think it's a great ad here because of the quality of it. Climate makes some pretty good gear, and this just happens to be one of those things that I would say, if you're looking to get into the hammock camping, or you want to explore it, this would be great for you. They give it a value of $49.99, so that's $50. And what you paid was $64.99 for this level. But you get not only the hammock, but everything that was there in that basic box. And I got to tell you, the knife to me is the star of the show in the basic box. And I've been looking to replace my knife, and I might give this guy a shot, to be honest with you. So that's $49.99. And I did want to make mention to you that it has a 2-year warranty on it, which a lot of these do not. And this will hold up to 400-pound capacity. Now that's pretty good, you know. 750D or 75D polyester. Pretty good, decent, ad for an advanced box, So those of you that are wanting to explore hammock camping, there it is right there. Spend $64.99, you get a hammock, You get a knife, you get all this other nice stuff with it, you know. So that's pretty good. All right, so next one, you know, we were really surprised at this whenever we found out what was in the Pro Box. You're in the Pro Box for $119.99. That's your buy-in price. And so far, what we have through the basic and advanced box is $122 worth of gear. That's pretty great. Now, questions, because it's fall, coming in about different types of bows. And, you know, because of the fact that we have presented bows from different companies that make survival bows and tactical breakdown bows. We get a lot of questions about this time of the year, you know, and never fails. We get questions about BattlBox. Is BattlBox ever going to put in a good breakdown bow? Well, what I'm going to show you right here comes from Gear Scope, and it is a breakdown bow that comes inside of this carrying bag. Obviously, I can't put it together in here, but I want to show you the components. This is the riser, the limbs. Here's one limb. Here's the other limb. It also comes with 3 different arrows, and it comes with some, you know, this is what we figured out to call this is a modified broadhead. These are serious though. These aren't just, you know, regular target broadheads. These are very, very serious, super sharp, and deadly. You know, that's it right there. That will kill any type of floor game, like, you know, a raccoon, a rabbit, a squirrel, something along that side. I wouldn't recommend trying to take a deer down with this. You know, not a smart idea. You're gonna wound the deer, and it'd have to be a perfect shot in order for it to bleed out. You know, maybe within probably 3 or 4 hours. That's how small this is. But man, I'd hate to be the one that got hit with this. But it would be good for rabbits and for squirrels and things like that. But it also comes with the bowstring. It comes with all the components, the hardware that you need to put it together. And putting it together is not hard at all. All you do is put that in the limb there. You put this in here. And then you take these socket bolts, right, and just stick them right in that hole. There we go. Pretty simple stuff. Now, this is a 40-pound pole, so you're going to be limited as to what you can, you know, take down with this. But you got an Allen wrench also that comes with it. Just tighten that up. You don't have to crank it down to where it almost breaks. But this is for all of you asking if they were ever going to put a serious bow in there. Now, I want to say this to you about this bow. I would call this an introductory takedown bow. We've seen many, and I'm not going to throw out a commercial for any particular one, but for those of you that are wanting to know, man, do I want to even try this? Because this is instinctive shooting, which means you don't use sights with it. Instinctive shooting is a learning process, especially if you have been trained with using sights. You know, so there he is, and then, you know, putting your bowstring on it is just like a regular long bow. You know, you step through it, you bend it over, you put the bottom on first to come up with the top. Again, it's a 40-pound pull at 28 inches up against the chin. And with the right broadhead, you could take down a deer quite easily with this, as long as you have the right shot. The arrows that come with this, let me see, does it say anything about the arrows? Let me see. They're 32.5 inches. 14 GPI, grains per inch is what that means. Okay, that's what these are. Now, We have heard about people complaining that when they take them out of the bag, the fletching is all bent up. It's not a big problem unless they're ripped off. But you know, I've told people all you got to do is let it sit out, you know, in the sun for a little bit, and it's going to regain its shape. If it's cold out, you can take it into your bathroom and get your wife's hair dryer, hit them with a hair dryer, and they will come back to life. You know, so. Are there better arrows out there? Yes. Again, I would say this is a part of an introductory kit to show you what what it's like to be able to carry and shoot a bow. Now, the positive things about this is the ease of putting it together, the ease of use. Everything about it's very, very easy. The negative things that I would say is that, again, this isn't even a negative thing. It's just an observation to where, you know this is a basic entry level takedown bow. Okay, it'll work. There's not a problem with it, and it's going to do the job. And I encourage you to go out onto Curran 1776 when he did the video on this. Okay, he shows just how well this is and how bad he can shoot. But for us, man, this is great, and it answers all your questions for those of you saying, you know, when are we going to see some type of takedown bow? There it is. They had one a few years ago also that wasn't on this level, wasn't this quality, so they've really upped their game on this. Now, they give this a value of $74.99. We're going to call it $75, and when you add the basic, the advanced, and the pro box together, you have $197 worth of gear, and you were into this box for $119.99. You know, that is a good bargain there also. You know? So let's move on now to the Pro Plus, or the knife of the month. And this knife is really nice. I like this knife a lot. And this knife comes from Wooks. And it's called the Wooks Bad Boy, right here. Dink. This is the knife, and that to me is a great skinning knife. You know, great caping knife. But you could do a lot of things with this. Now, obviously, it's a smaller size knife. Let's see. Does it tell us here how long it is and all that? No, it does not. But it comes with. It's made out of D2. And D2 steel, you know, used to get a bad rap, but they've worked a lot of the bugs out of that. It's very sturdy. It holds an edge a long time, but, you know, being honest, you know, it takes a little more work to get D2 up to where it's shaving sharp. This guy right here will shave you down smooth like a baby's bottom. Look at that. You can't see that, I guess, but we really like this. What we didn't like, though, is this sheath, you know. To put this quality of knife in this sheath, and I get it, I would say that Wooks did this probably to keep the price down within that BattlBox range, you know. But when it comes to quality, when you take it out of the sheath, when you skin this knife, it is top notch. It's really, really a decent knife. Feels good in the hand. You know, you could process, you know, small kindling with this. You can process food. You can process some game with it. You know, I really like it. It's a super duper knife, and I think we had 2 other people that looked at this particular knife, and they were all saying the same thing. You know, it is a truly quality knife, good blade. You know, but they could use to have put it in a different sheath, but. You know, as again, I think it was because of the price, you know, because this is a super quality knife. And for me, I would rather have the blade to be top notch than the sheath to be top notch, because you can always either build your own sheath or have one built, or you can go out on Wooks' website and they now have a premium sheath that looks pretty good. I haven't seen it in person. Right here, you get a 20% off discount off of anything on their website, including the sheath for this knife. Now they give this a value of $119, and when we saw this, it's very easily a $119 knife. It's a very nice knife. And when you add up everything, all 4 tiers, it comes to $316, and you paid only $169.99. So again, that's where we are always telling you, you get more bang for your buck with BattlBox than you do anybody else. Now, before I get off of here, I want to make mention of Wanlo. Wanlo is a monthly outdoor adventure box for kids that introduces them to different games and crafts and activities, educational outdoor fun, and the idea of it is to trigger and inspire them to have a lifelong interest in the outdoors. You know, that's what it's all about. It's not supposed to be a BattlBox for kids. This is built for kids with kids in mind. And each of them, I'm going to read this, says each new box is built around a theme like animals, stargazing, gardening, navigation, plants, and more. So I'll give you an example, and I've given one of these cards to a friend of mine. His son is autistic, and he has an interest in things that are outdoors. And, you know, his dad is really into the BattlBox stuff. And I told him, you know, he's always asking me, would you recommend me buying a BattlBox for my son? And I told him, you know, because of the situation, the answer is no, I wouldn't do that. But as soon as John started speaking to me about this, I thought, man, I thought of this guy. So I gave him one of these cards, and as far as I know, he is subscribed to this for his child. But if you've got a child that you are wanting to introduce to get the interest flowing in them, this is a good thing to do. So Wanlo is great, and in this particular BattlBox, you get 20% off, and it's going to be the Wanlo Welcome Box that has a value of $90. Now I don't know everything that's in it. It looks like maybe there is a hammock in there, but I don't know what's in that bag. But it's a great way to introduce small kids, young kids to the outdoor life. So appreciate you watching, and I hope this helped you out. Made you excited about that, you know. So get out to BattlBox and check out everything that they've got there. They've always got other gear that's in past boxes that you can get. So appreciate it. Till next time, you guys ride free, you live free, and it's cold, so stay warm outside.